Well, it looks like 2025 is shaping up to be kind of a boring year if you're a performance car enthusiast. However, with Toyota, they're reviving the Celica and putting it under the GR Performance nameplate. Things are looking up when it comes to the future, 2026 and 2027. Hell, we're already almost into March. We're getting through a fourth of the year already. So the future is looking bright for cheap, affordable performance vehicles and even some in the middle market as well. Let's go over what Toyota could be doing, and even Dodge for that matter. There's something that's going to be coming down the pipeline for both these companies, and it's going to set the precedent moving forward for affordable performance, tuner friendly enthusiast vehicles. Let's get into it. If you ever wanted real carbon fiber parts, I do have a promo code with carbon add-ons. Whether you have a Chevy, a Dodge, or a Mustang, a Ford, you can get real carbon fiber parts and save 5% off even on the discounted stuff using code FitCityGarage5, or use the link in the description of this video down below. So thanks for checking it out, and let's get on with the video. Alright guys, I'm going to link all the articles in the description down below, but let's kind of go over this a little bit. Toyota is reviving the Celica with a high-performance GR badge. Now, that's actually really exciting, because the Celica is a lightweight car. The Celica was a very loved vehicle. It was reliable. My brother just actually sold his 2002 Celica with like 250,000 miles. Something like that. It was a lot of mileage. That thing ran like a tank. I'm pretty sure that thing would run without any oil and damn near any gas. Like, it was a tank, but it was reliable. No costly repairs whatsoever. It was one of the most reliable vehicles, in my opinion, some people could disagree, that Toyota's ever made. And the performance vehicles were kind of a halo car for them back in the day. Now, I was just like 6, 7, 8 years old, so I didn't know a whole lot. But looking back at it, knowing what I know now, it's a very good car. And they're going to be reviving that. And it's going to be lightweight. Now, I'm glad to actually talk about this because Toyota is confirming that the Celica is returning. But there's reports, and I've talked about this in the past, and you guys may know about this, but if not, there's a turbocharged 2.0 liter engine pushing 400 horsepower that Toyota has actually right now. They've showcased this engine. They've said that we have capabilities of a 400 horsepower 4-cylinder engine. And here's the thing. Mercedes might have been the first one to kind of make it go mainstream with their 4-cylinder, like over 400 horsepower vehicle. I can't remember exactly which one it was, but they've got a 4-cylinder pushing out like 430, 440 horsepower. I think we're going to see this more and more. We're going to see more powerful 4-cylinders that are just going to be fully forged engines. These car companies are finding out, these car manufacturers are finding out that instead of fully forging a 6-cylinder, an inline 6, a V8, something like that, it's cheaper to fully forge a 4-cylinder engine because it's less parts, and it will still take a ton of horsepower in the aftermarket world. A ton. So, if this is the case, it's 400 horsepower. They're going to shove that thing in there, and it's going to be all-wheel drive. I agree. The next generation Celica could be one of Toyota's most exciting sports cars in years. Because let's say it's 400, or let's say it's 3,200 to 3,300 pounds. 400 horsepower, all-wheel drive, and let's say it's a really efficient drivetrain. Let's say instead of making what normally a 400 all-wheel horsepower car would do to the wheels, be around 320, let's say it's 350 all-wheel horsepower to the wheels. And because it's a turbocharged engine, a tune, and some E85, you're looking at 500 to the crank horsepower, and you're looking to add an extra 100 real or all-wheel horsepower, to 450, and it's 3,200, 3,300 pounds from the factory. Maybe do a little bit more weight loss, wheels and tires, make it a little bit lighter. That thing is gonna rip. It's probably gonna almost do a sub 3-second 0 to 60 because it's so light. Absolutely insane. And it'll be priced correctly too. The one concern I have, though, look at the new Honda Prelude that's coming out. The interior on that is unfortunately not very good. I'm sure I'm showing pictures. It doesn't look that great. Now, well, I'd be lying if I said interior isn't everything. Guys, that's where we live. That's where we spend most of our time. Interior is important to an extent, right? So hopefully Toyota puts a pretty decent interior in there. But the Celica was last produced in 2006, leaving a void in Toyota's lineup for a lightweight enthusiast-focused coupe. However, the rumors of revival circulated for years, and in November 2024, Toyota finally put it to rest. At a public event, we're doing the Celica. So, GR performance and drivetrain possibilities. So, we already know about the GR Supra. Alright, that was a lightweight inline-six BMW engine. The GR86, the GR Yaris, and Corolla. See, that's where I think the idea came from with a very, very, very powerful inline forged floor engine. Is the inline 3 engine they have doing 100 horsepower per cylinder, and that deck, that block is so beefy. All you have to do is rod pistons in that thing, and it'll probably handle like 700 horsepower. It is so beefy. Try to send a rod through that block or through the deck anywhere. Like, try it. Try it. It's insane how thick that thing is. So, just rods and pistons in a GR Corolla or a GR Yaris, depending on where you live. Almost the sky's the limit for that thing, and the thing hardly weighs anything. So, a 700 horsepower GR Corolla to the crank is like a 900, like, because of the weight difference, is like a 900 plus Hellcat power to weight ratio. Like, they'll be neck and neck. That's how much extra horsepower you have to make just to keep up with the GR Corolla. And it could even be worse than that. I'm not plugging it in a calculator, but it could be even worse than that. It could be just as fast as a 1,000 horsepower Hellcat because of the weight difference. So, pretty interesting things, right? And hopefully the the rival of an old nameplate Mitsubishi Eclipse, yeah, wouldn't that be something? But yeah, like I said, the most exciting rumor is that they do have a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine, 400 horsepower. It'll significantly outperform its predecessor and compete with modern sports car. Additionally, it may adopt Toyota's rally-proven GR4 all-wheel drive system found in the GR Yaris and Corolla, offering both straight line speed and enhanced handling capabilities. That would be good. There's no official word yet on whether the new Celica will offer a manual transmission, but given the manual GR Supra sold last year, we wouldn't be surprised. Toyota told Motor One that 65% of all Supras sold in 2024 were bought with a manual gearbox. That's really cool. So front or mid-engine? Oh, here we go. Historically, the Celica has always been a front-engine coupe, but recent reports suggest Toyota may break from tradition. Speculation about a mid-engine layout has grown following Toyota's development of a mid-engine GR Yaris prototype. I remember that. Initially believed to be a preview of the next MR2. Wow, wouldn't that be something? Could you imagine if they came out with an MR2, 400 horsepower in the mid-engine? Like, hey, you want an MR2? You want it in the rear? Or do you want a Celica? You want it in the front? Pick your poison. We can produce these really easily, really well. Just whatever you like. Do you want it in the rear? Do you want it in the front? Do you like the look of the MR2? Do you like the look of the Celica? Formulaically, they're about the same. One will perform a little bit different than the other because of the way that the center of gravity works with where the engine is. But, you know, it'll round out to be about the same. Now, you will, if the MR2 is just rear wheel only, then it'll hook up pretty well than if it was in the front. But if Celica's all-wheel drive, that thing will smoke this. So, pretty exciting stuff. Now, what about Dodge, right? What about Dodge? Well, this is news to me because apparently Dodge CEO says there's a market for a sub-$30,000 Halo sports car. Well, remember the Dodge Neon, and that's exactly what Motor One's saying here. What about the Dodge Neon? That was one of the coolest cars for the money you could get. Now, it was cheaply made. It was cheaply made. That thing was nothing but plastic, cloth, and sheet metal. Seriously, that thing was so cheaply made, but they slapped a supercharger on this thing. It was nuts. It was nuts, and people still build these things. So, what's interesting is, though, is that McAleer is interested in this. So, back in August, before the head exec left, McAleer told us that he wanted to continue to grow Dodge as America's performance brand, but add that it needs to be the right nameplates that are done in the Dodge manner that stand out in the sea of sameness. So, he saw the SRT as a brand's halo, which comes with a high price tag, so seeing how Dodge evolves at the lower end of the market will be interesting. I don't think that Dodge necessarily has to come out with a vehicle that's sub 30. I think 35,000 is not bad. because they make a mention here that the $30,000 range, you have cars like the Mazda Miata and the Toyota BRZ, they start just over 30. So if they could do something that's about 35,000, because really the car that they should compete with is the Mustang EcoBoost. It's got like 315 horsepower, 350 pound-feet of torque. If they could come out with a fun new Dodge Neon or a smaller coupe, a real smaller sedan, and they could put the Hurricane Inline 4 in it, but turn that baby up, or hear me out, Inline 4 Hurricane, but they forge the entire thing. We just got done talking about the Celica and how it has potentially a fully forged 4-cylinder engine because they have one. Toyota has one. So if Dodge could just do that, because they already make the Hurricane 4, put forged components in it, fully forge that bad boy, that would increase the price a little bit, sure, but then it'll just be they could throw more freaking power at it with a turbo. Seriously. They could do that. They could just change some things slightly, tune her up a little bit, leave some room on the table for more power down the road for people who want to get their hands on them, and let it make 400 plus horsepower at the crank. That's what they could do. And the fact that they're thinking about this tells you a lot. I think because Carlos Tavares is gone, Dodge is going to start putting out better vehicles, more options. Things that were initially shot down, now no one can tell them what to do. Seriously. It's going to take a minute for Dodge to do this, though. And same with Toyota. Because, again, what I just opened the video with, 2025 is probably going to be a slow year for car enthusiasts. Now, the only somewhat interesting vehicles that are coming out that are affordable, because we're going to throw the Chevy ZR1 out of the way, get out of here, that's $200,000 plus car. But we're looking at the Dodge Inline 6 550 horsepower, the SRT model, right? Let's see how that performs. Let's see how that does. Let's see how reliable that is right out of the gate. Other than that, I can't think of anything. The Mark 8.5 Golf R, that's going to be close to $50,000 with the Black Edition. I mean, nice car, looks good, new tech on the inside. I mean, that's exciting. That's coming pretty soon. I think. I don't even know anything else that's really coming out that's new. There hasn't been a lot really announced for this year, so 2025 is probably going to be a slow year to see new exciting things come to the market and just see how they do. Because tuning for anything new coming to the market is probably not going to be right away, so we're going to have to wait for that as well, regardless of what vehicle it is, unless tuning is available for that vehicle already, as in it's nothing new, it's just the 2025 model. But I'm just relatively speaking about new vehicles coming out for a manufacturer. But again, in the near future, 2026 and later, those years look to be pretty good. EVs are going to be a thing of the past. Everyone's stopping their EV productions because they're losing a bunch of money. Ford lost I don't know, they lose like $10,000 to $12,000 per EV vehicle sold. They're losing billions of dollars. Everybody spent all this money on plants to tool for EV vehicles. They're all losing billions of dollars except Toyota. It's absolutely hilarious. They're probably going to need government buyouts. That's a whole video for another day. Hopefully it doesn't happen, but everyone and their mom would have said, I told you so. So let me know what you guys think about these more affordable, cool vehicles coming in the near future. Smash that like button, and I'll see you guys in the next one.